Okay, One Piece chapter 519. Gonna say it right now. Love the chapter. Love how Luffy shouted and Luffy basically shouted, said, "Bow down, bitches." But the Supreme King Haki. Luffy is special. I've been thinking it for a minute, but I wasn't sure how. I thought maybe he was a descendant of Roger, and it explains why Rayleigh was taking such strong liking to him. The Supreme King Haki. And it says in this chapter that only so many people and millions of people actually have this, and it's been a while since you've seen it. And as of right now, the only person who can actually use it is Boa Hancock. Luffy's able to use it. And Oda was building up towards this. You knew it. Like the fact that they were using Haki, and I guess using Haki to read his movements. And they're saying you have a devil fruit, but you know, you don't know Haki, you can't really fight us. And then Luffy all of a sudden just gets super pissed, and it's like emotion is what triggered it. And this is what's key about this, okay? Let's just say the Supreme Key Haki, or the Supreme King Haki, is tied to emotions. It would explain it, because Boa Hancock, she uses the whole thing with love. Maybe her Haki is tied into the whole thing with love and lust and whatnot. Luffy, it's the same thing. Maybe the Supreme King Haki could be tied into what happens like with your emotions. Like with this, like with Luffy, supreme loyalty having a place in your heart. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. And I totally like this because, again, I've said like, oh, Boa Hancock totally reminds me of Luffy in the way she's like a female version of Luffy. And sure enough, it's the same thing. Maybe the Haki that resonates inside of Luffy, because it's the same as hers, maybe it's exactly the same. It's just that there's different ways to bring about it. Kind of like how like you have ki. Everyone has different types of ki, but ki's still the same. And I love this idea. I love that, you know, Oda is incorporating some type of energy source into the One Piece universe. And now I can see why it was part of that big three, because, you know, everybody had that whole thing, even with the original big three, where you had Dragon Ball, Rurouni Kenshin, and Yu Yu Hakusho. They all had different energy sources, whereas with Rurouni Kenshin was a little different. You know, the energy source there was the swordsman spirit, but it was still an energy source in a way. And what I like about this is Oda's incorporating some of the modern tropes, but this chapter, the build up towards it, very beautiful. I love the fact that Luffy takes those statues and he says, man, this is like that time when Aokiji froze me and me and Robin. And I love the fact that what you see is Luffy is again calling out to his crew. He's like, if only Chopper was here, Chopper would know what to do. So Luffy is again admitting his faults. But as this fight progresses, one of the things Luffy sees is his attacks aren't working. His Gum Gum Gatling, they're dodging it, because like I said, I think they're using Haki to read his movements. And then another thing that you're seeing is their weapons are coated in poison. And at first when Luffy says my punches aren't having an effect, I'm thinking, did they rig this fight? Did they use the Sea Prism Stone and have it planted all around the arena? And then I caught myself. I said, if they use the Sea Prism Stone to do that, which you know nullifies Devil Fruit abilities, Luffy wouldn't be able to stretch at all. He couldn't use his Devil Fruit powers. And in fact, Luffy would just be collapsed all over the place. And I'm like, what's going on? And it looks like it's this Haki stuff. And as these fights are progressing, Luffy flat out says, like, look, you tell me I need to worry about myself. She adored you. Why are you trying to kill her? Why are you trying to kill these three that are frozen as statues or in stone? Why are you doing this to them? And when Luffy finds out that they were sentenced to death simply for helping him, he loses it. And it speaks a lot to his character. And, you know, going back into it, one of the things Luffy said was like, oh, you know, all you do is you seem to help me. Like, stuff like that. Like, Luffy's the type to pay a deed forward. If you do something for him, he pays it forward. Luffy will give you the bootstrap to help you pull yourself up. So I like what you see here. And I like the fact that Luffy's just steadily getting painted into a corner. And you could call this a bullshit power-up. You can. But at the same time, Haki was introduced. And you knew at some point Luffy was going to learn it, but you didn't expect him to have the whole Gohan moment where all of a sudden it just burst out. And just like with Gohan, he had to be trained by Piccolo to learn how to control his ki. The same thing here. Luffy's going to have to be trained to learn how to manifest his ki. But if he has Haki on the level that Hancock has it, Luffy just jumped up. He went from below a 7 warlord. I mean, he beat them in power, but a lot. You got to look at it from this perspective. When he fought those 7 warlords that he fought, so when you look at it, when he fought Moria just recently, in the very first one that he fought, and Crocodile, he had a lot break his way. He found just the right weakness. He had just the amount of help. He fought them more than once and was able to figure out their abilities. Everything broke correctly. He just jumped up. He just jumped up. I've always said this. The more skilled person will always win, especially if they get the breaks their way. Power means nothing. Power means a lot, but at the same time, it means nothing. And that's what you're seeing in this chapter here. And so I'm really excited just to see where this goes and if Luffy's Haki, this Haki of his, is it really tied to this whole Will of D thing? And it's a stupid question, but did Roger know this as well? Because if that's the case, how strong was this guy? And it would make sense because he walked in and allowed himself to be executed. He could have still been alive otherwise. But those are just my thoughts on this matter, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But as always, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have an awesome